coaches out there. We got Pottsville. They're coming in here in just a moment. Man, this is exciting. Like I said, I love this time of year because nobody's lost. Everybody's optimistic. Everybody feels good about their team. And it's just good to feel that energy, feel that drive that you have for that new season. So, anyway.
My first time doing this.
Yeah.
I'm glad to be a part of this. D3's glad to be a part of this. The young men that are coming up here to speak are the future of car buyers. So
there you go. There you go.
We're looking for that. Of course, we just like to help out the communities as well. So,
well, you guys are great at that. Let's go ahead and bring Coach Rust in here. Carson, if you'll give him your headset there, we'll bring Coach Rust in. And I'm going to try to get this posted properly here as Coach Rust comes in here. We're talking high school football. And there's a guy that's sitting down here. He knows a little bit about it. He's taken a few turns around the sun in high school football, right?
I've been doing it a while.
You've been doing it a little bit now. And you've been doing it at Pottsville a little bit now. I mean, you've been at Pottsville, 20 years?
This is starting year 19.
19 for you. So
pretty good tenure.
You've been there. You've been there. So let's talk some Pottsville Apaches. I mean, this is a program that I am familiar with. I see Coach out there. He's getting ready here from England. The England Lions are out there waiting right now. But Pottsville Apaches, 4A4. We talked a little 4A4 yesterday with the Lamar Warriors, and you know Coach Josh Jones very well.
I do.
Very familiar with him. And let me get to this real quick. We want to say thanks to Merchant and Planners Bank of Clarendon and Russellville Nursing and Rehab Center for being a part of our regional sponsorships here in Little Rock. And anyway, you know a little bit about Coach Jones, but one thing that I know about your league right now is your league is about as tough as it's ever been.
It really is. I mean, anytime you have a state title contender in Dardanelle, and, of course, the thing over the years, and this is going on my 27th year in high school football, you just start to see good coaches and recognize good coaching and how they do things. And, in our league, I just feel like at this point is – man, just a bunch of really, really good coaches, along with some really tremendous athletes. So there's nothing easy about it, from top to bottom. It's really, really well-coached teams with some really good athletes. And I've been in it long enough now to realize and to see. I feel like early on you could really outwork people. At this point now, everybody's putting the work in. Everybody's putting the hours in, and it's nonstop. It's almost 365 days a year, along with all the team camps and the 7-on-7s, and again the coaching level with so many guys in our league with the experience they have. Just nothing's easy. You have to be tremendously prepared and. And I think it showed last year. I feel like our conference over the years hadn't got a lot of the respect, really top-heavy. And we're still top-heavy in a way with Dardanelle being, I feel like, an elite team right now. The rest of us, I think, are all going to be similar type teams. And it's going to be a battle week in, week out. It's going to be a fun time this year, and I'm really excited to get going.
5 playoff spots on the line in the 3A and the 4A. And, by my count, there's 6 really good teams in the conference. And I know that Dover especially, I don't know a lot about Waldron and what they're doing, but I do know that Dover hired a really good coach over there, and Mark King. So they're not going to just sit down and lay down for anybody. So, again, that 4A4 got a lot tougher.
It did, and last year Waldron with a new coach and a guy that's done a really good job. And again, it doesn't take you long to figure out if you're fast and you're big, you can be pretty competitive in the game of football. So Waldron year in, year out has had tremendous track talent, and it's a big program over there. So I think they continue to get those kids out and keep getting better. Last year they were going into it, they beat Ozark early in the year and kind of shocked everybody. And, and we wound up going down, and we had a really, really tough first half against them. And then we kind of stretched it out as the game progressed. And, just one of those things. I feel like they'll be the same way. He's ready to go, and he's hyped up. And So again, it's a bunch of teams that are going to be really battling it out to the end.
It's going to be some good football in the River Valley on Friday nights this coming year.
Yes,
No
sir.
doubt. No doubt about it. I mean, like you said, Dardanelle, maybe their best. I mean, my count, I've heard 91 of 99 touchdowns coming back from last year.
He probably doesn't want to talk about
right,
that, Brad.
exactly. Well, let me tell
we
you.
gave them a few.
Right. Well, let me tell you that Pottsville Dardanelle game's a fun one.
Yeah, it is.
It's a fun rivalry there, and it's always that Friday night is a lot of fun there in against those two. It's a really natural rivalry there.
Well, and last year, going into it, I felt like we could battle with them for sure, and in probably the worst start of any football game I've ever been a part of. I think within the first minute and a half to 2 minutes, Justin's over there smiling.
Right.
Like I think we fumbled the kickoff. They score. We had another fumble. We did something else on it. Anyway, they were up 21-0 in like the first 2 minutes, and
that's hard to overcome.
Yes, and we just. But then from that point on, man, we battled and went back and forth with them and kind of cut it down a little bit and scored. I don't know. I think we scored 28 or 30. I can't remember exactly, but if we hadn't had that start, I felt like we could have played with them a little bit longer and made it a little more interesting. So hopefully we can do that this year, figure out a way to slow those guys down because, again, they do have a lot of talent.
New coach in the league, Coach Josh Watson of Salem, coming off a 3A state championship. Ozark, I know that those fans over there at Ozark and that group of people over there, they want to see a little bit more out of their program. Coach Jeremy Burns did a great job over there. But you know what? Coach Watson coming over, bringing a little bit of new blood in there, bringing a little excitement over there to Ozark.
Oh, yeah, definitely. We've seen them at team camps and stuff. And, again, Ozark's one of those teams that, unbelievably tradition-rich, for a lot of years. I'm originally from Boonville, so with the Boonville-Ozark thing's been going on. I'm 51, so I remember it from being, my first years at school there. So Ozark has always been a huge tradition town of football, and they always have talent. Their grandparents, parents, everybody's all played football. It's how the town is wired, and Coach Watson does a great job, and he's going to be a little different than what Coach Burns did. They're going to be a run-heavy team, and he was going to want to keep it on the ground, so you're going to have to stop the run. They're going to want to play physical, and so again, one of those teams where they've got all the talent in the world, and they always have. So they're going to be tough to deal with.
Now this was 3A last year. Of course, I know you probably don't keep up with that. You got your hands full of 4A.
Sure.
But when they went into the playoffs last year, they got hot, and nobody could stop them on the ground. I mean, they were something else last year, and so that was an interesting run that they had to make it to the 3A state championship game. And I told him on the phone one day, I was like, man, when y'all beat Rivercrest 50-18, I was like, we probably should have knew who was about to win the state championship,
Sure.
Because that's Rivercrest over there, man. They can play some ball
Absolutely.
over there. So anyway, well, Coach, I want you to introduce who you've got, your players here, and we're going to bring them in, have them talk a little bit about Pottsville Apache football.
Well, I brought with me Caleb Stansel, both seniors, Caleb Stansel and Andrew Wells, guys, I've known them since they were little bitty. Caleb's uncle, Jeremy Ward, played for me way back when, and Caleb's been running around that field for many years, and Andrew's been there too. And it's great to grow up in the place and be around kids and see them since they were little.
Right, absolutely.
And these guys have grown up Apaches, and they're really, really excited about the season. Caleb plays linebacker and fullback for us, and had a great year last year, and he's being pretty recruited by I think he's got like 3 offers now, I think, and Andrew Wells he plays a little bit on both sides of the ball. He's kind of our Swiss Army knife a little bit. He can do anything offensively for us, but his major contribution is he'll play a corner and a little bit of safety. He can play anywhere, but probably at corner most of the time this year.
All right, well, let's bring them in and let's talk to them a little bit about Pottsville Apache football. Caleb Stansel, Andrew Wells here joining us for Pottsville Apache football. Glad to have you guys over here talking a little bit. Y'all have got to be excited, right?
Yes, sir.
I mean,
Yes, sir.
every year it's just fun. You know, I was talking about CAC, coming in here, and they come off a tough season, but the optimism of a new year and what can happen in that new year, and I know there's expectations over in Pottsville.
Yes,
we
sir.
know that. We're very familiar with the Pottsville program. So talk about a little bit about what you guys think about your team and what you see right now with your team and in your practices and your 7-on-7 and all that.
I feel like with our team, we have like a really good work ethic. My bad. And I feel like we like to get stuff done. I feel like that's one of our biggest specialties. Like, we might not have like the biggest guys and stuff, but we got a bunch of guys that want to work and want to get better every day.
Yes, sir. So, we got a group of guys that really care. Last year we also did, and we had all the talent, but we got off track a little bit, But this year we got a group of guys that really want it. We don't really have the name. We haven't had, the individual name, but we all really work hard, have good ethic, and really expect a lot out of the season, especially if we stay on the right track,
Yep.
What does that look like for you guys when you say stay on the right track? What does that mean?
I feel like just like practice, like just work on the little things. Like, little things matter, and
Yeah.
they lead to big things and stuff. And I feel like just if you get those little things done, then it'll just all come together. I feel like, and I feel like that's what our team's doing. Like, a lot of underclassmen have stepped up this year and
Yeah.
stuff, and it's from junior high and stuff. And all the sophomores. They're pretty solid. They're very aggressive and just want to get stuff done. And our seniors, I feel like we really want to get stuff done, and we really want to have a great season. And we're going to do whatever it takes to have a winning season.
Now
this
you're
year.
a senior. Are
Yes, sir.
you?
Yes, sir.
So both seniors. What's it like knowing this is possibly the last go round? You got some offers.
Yes, sir.
I don't know what your plans are, but this could be possibly the last go round. You've played from Pee Wee all the way up. What's the urgency for you to have a good season with this being your last go round?
I mean, the past couple of years we've always known that it was coming. At some point we're going to be seniors, and we've always just fell a little short of our goals, and we know we could have done better, but locker room talk and just some other things that put us in the wrong direction kept us from actually getting there. So we know coming into this season that could be our last opportunity, and we just really want to push each other and work hard to get. We want a couple of wins in the playoffs this year. We want a deep run. We really want it. So
Well, because I'm familiar with you, I know that last year you guys had Malvern beat.
Oh, I know. I know.
You had them beat. We were, I can't even remember where I was, but I was getting updates from Justin, and he's like, what was it? 3 scores, 2 scores, whatever it was. And then we were peeking in on the game, and of course we see Malvern come back. I know it was heartbreaking, but I also know this, that y'all have been down to Malvern a couple times now in the playoffs,
Yes, sir.
and y'all have played with them. You've played them tough. Malvern is one of those teams that when you mention 4A football, they're up there at the top. I mean, they've got a state championship within the last 3 or 4 years there. They play in that 4A7 that's a very tough conference, and they're usually up there at the top. That's got to give you a little bit of confidence.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Yeah, I feel like we had them beat and stuff. It's just that we kind of got a little bit comfortable and stuff and kind of let them score a few times, and we can't let that happen and stuff.
Justin's talking to us. He's the producer down there. He's telling
Sorry,
us.
losing Miller Mahan didn't help none either.
Yeah.
That was tough to lose him at
Yeah.
the start of the game.
I feel like our sophomore quarterback, he stepped up, though. It was
Yeah.
like in a playoff game as a sophomore, that's hard on a player, and I feel like he did the best he could.
Well, since you touched on that, let's talk about that real quick. We've got a few minutes here. Let's talk about your quarterback. Quarterbacks are very important.
Yes, sir.
Offensive line is very important. But when you talk about a quarterback, a sophomore quarterback that got playoff experience, have you seen something out of him that might have helped him, maybe even if it's just confidence-wise, knowing that he could come in and do it?
You want to say something?
yeah, Court, he's a really great guy. He's not so he don't talk a whole lot. But he's really a leader and all around in the huddle. He brings a really good morale and keeps the team steady and keeps things going, and with him being in the playoffs, it showed what he can do, and he really like surprised a lot of people, and it made us all happy. Now that what he did, it was just he did a good job, and we're all happy. And I don't really know, but he's a good guy.
He's got a state record for the longest pass in state history. 99 yards.
Yeah, I remember that.
99 yards. He's got it. All right, guys, last thing before I let you go. It will be a successful season at Pottsville
if we just keep doing what we're doing. If we keep working hard in the weight room, keep working hard just on the little things, like I said, I feel like we'll have a really good season and stuff. If we just keep our minds forward and don't look back, I feel like we just keep looking forward.
Yeah, what he said, it's the work ethic, and working hard,
right?
being good, talking up, not tearing each other down. We had some issues with that last year, and it's just staying focused and knowing that we can do it if we really work hard. And so.
All right, guys.
Sir, yeah, thank you for having us.
Looking forward to seeing what you
sir.
guys do this year. Pottsville Apaches, they've got a great schedule coming up in the 4A4. It's going to be interesting to see what they do.